They said, you are not the expert when you write your dissertation. Don't even try to be the expert. You're a researcher, you're a reporter, you're a recorder, you're an interpreter, and you're an articulator, and that's it. That's it. So I had to rethink what I was going to write my dissertation about, because I was trying to think, okay, God, what am I really good at? What I really know? I'm going to tell the world! And I found out that that's not at all what I was supposed to write. None of us are experts. Most of us aren't experts at anything. We have a working knowledge. I'll give you that. We have our own understanding. But think about it. Out of everybody in this room, if we went through our level of understanding over any subject whatsoever, it's all different. And what is it different based on? It's based on your reading, your writing, and what you can teach. That's it. Because you can only interpret that which you've read. And if you haven't read anything, you got nothing to interpret. Now, I'll give you one extra, and it could be what you hear. So the only knowledge you have is based on what you've read or what you've heard. If you don't read and you don't listen, then your level of expertise is only based on that. That's it. And everybody here, we can't say, hey, did you know Janine's read 3 books on that topic? Oh my goodness, so did Jennifer. Oh my goodness, Sue also read 3 books exactly. No, we've all read a different amount of text. We've all listened to a different amount of teachers. We've all interpreted the way that our brains interpret. So none of us are experts at anything. So let's not have this attitude of absolutism. Always be open-minded. And the truth is if you're good at being open-minded, then you will be good at being teachable. You'll be good at being teachable. We have to remain teachable. Amen?
Amen.
Okay, I'm going to take a few more minutes, then we'll take a break, and then we'll finish up. Okay? If you have some that if you're teaching or you're preaching or you're discipling, when you have those that shun teaching, like I have a couple situations even now that I'm dealing with where they're stuck on absolutism. In other words, what they believe is what they believe, and they're not changing, and whatever I say, it doesn't matter. This is how they believe, and they don't agree with me. Okay? When you get someone like that shuns teachers, not open to listen, you can tell, right? You've talked to people where they might be looking at you, and you might be talking, but you know they're not listening to a word you're saying. Right? And that's a person that is not teachable. And it really speaks to the level that they're at spiritually, because they are definitely not this level that we're talking about today. They are stuck in their own absolutism, and they're not willing to change. And that, my friends, it is a recipe for disaster and unending challenges. So I like to suggest and recommend and propose that all of us as scholars always remain teachable. Now, I can tell you, and my father had a lot to do with my angle here and my stand here. Even on his gravestone, where his remains are, it says on there, never quit learning. Never. And I've learned from some of the best teachers this very point. And how did I learn? Not because they're speaking the words, not because they're giving me a textbook, but because I see them with multiple doctorate degrees still in class. That's how I learn. An example of that is Pastor Bob Myers. He's a professor at Canby Bible College. Okay? He's been a professor a long time. He's taught a lot, and he's 83 years old. Yet, anytime I teach a class, he's going to be there. Now, he's not in class with us today because he knows this is more of a formal education, and he's been there, done that. But I'm telling you, if this was just a lift class, there would be a really good chance that he would be here tonight. Yet, He has taught for decades. He has been a professor for a long time. This is where I learned that the higher you go in your level of learning and education, the more you desire to learn. So, if there's somebody that's so stuck on their absolutism that they won't even care to listen and open their mind, because they only think of it one way and that's the only way, it tells me where they're at. It tells me right off the bat where they're at. And I'm not even concerned whether they're right or I'm right, or they're wrong or I'm wrong. I'm not even concerned about that. What I'm concerned about is that you just shut me down because of your absolutism. That's a good question. I don't remember, but we talked about that in the levels of stages, where you talk less, listen more, right? Well, that's the thing, is that I don't know where you would say, somewhere along the line you stop being that person of absolutism. Somewhere along the line. I couldn't recall exactly which stage it is. Is it 5? 5 or 6? 5? 4?
Teenagers, how teenagers know everything?
Yeah, that's true. But I would say even beyond that level, you get to 5, around 5, 6, you really start opening up to learning more. So, yeah, that's a good question. You should research that and then report back to me. Yeah, stuck in their ways, yeah.
That would be stage 4 or something?
When they're stuck in their ways?
They don't want to grow anymore, they think they've got it.
Yeah, actually, that's actually closer to like level 3, too, where they get saved, they're excited, and they're not fearing anything, so they just go, right? They're hungry, but they just go, But what you're talking about is not really part of the spiritual development. It's really a... Yeah, right? So anywhere in there, it could be a hindrance to your further development. But it's not like at stage 3 you don't want to learn, but stage 4 you do. It's not like that. It's just anywhere along the progress of your life and development, that could be a thorn or it could be a hindrance when you become so stubborn that you're stuck on absolutism. And a lot of that comes in the culture that you surround yourself with. It really does. It becomes, if you're in a culture that is stuck on absolutism, you become that way, right? So if you hang out with me, you're not going to be that way. But because I'm not that way, right? You hang out with me, I'm going to encourage you to stay away from absolutism. I want you to be confident in what you've learned, but I want you to stay away from absolutism. In other words, I'm going to be confident in what I just taught you, but be open to know that I could be wrong in some things, okay? And we need to just help each other grow. So that's a good observation. We need a 5-fold ministry effect by understanding the full narrative from Paul to Timothy. Sometimes there are pastors with only 1-fold ministry, and that's pastor. But we have to have an understanding of that 5-fold ministry. And when you think you have it, then think again. And then when you think again and you think you have it, think again, right? And always again, what did I say? Always again, ask the question, what am I missing? This is why when I write my letters, when I write my emails, I look at it over and over and over again, and I ask myself, what am I missing in this email? Or what did I add that I shouldn't have, right? Repeat, repeat, repeat. This is how you get the substance, okay? This is how you get the substance. Remember, you do the investigation, and the Spirit gives you the revelation. You do the investigation, and the Spirit will give you the revelation. All right, let's take a 10-minute breather and stretch your back and stretch your... Are you sore? Those chairs, I said, we need to bring those cushy chairs down, man. We need to bring those cushy chairs. Take a 10-minute breather, stretch a little bit, go get a